What does it mean when you say about someone that he's a kosher person? It doesn't necessarily mean that he eats kosher, meaning he behaves according to the rules. And these are rules that weren't defined by us, or the Turkish government that ruled here, or the English mandate, but these are rules that were given to us by the Kabbalists that researched nature and saw which rules are operating from the upper system of governance and providence on our world, and according to the qualities of these rules that are operating on us, we have to behave. And then we'll feel good because we'll be in sync with the system that's operating us. And there won't be, so to speak, collision between us and the heavens, meaning that the branches, our qualities, meaning, will precisely match their roots, the upper qualities. Because it's clear to everyone that we're in the system of nature that's operating on us. Nature is operating on us, arranging us, and we have no idea what's going to happen the next moment and how to get along. Only from our experience, we see that if we follow our brains, we lose big time. This is what the wisdom of Kabbalah tells us. Now, if we take all the corrections that each one of us has to do and all of us together, making kosher people, a kosher society, a kosher humanity, then we can talk about kosherness in different aspects, about different things. But if we look at the upper roots, what it means, a garment, how it has to be, what in the upper roots means to plow the field, to plant trees, to make wine, to slaughter animals, beasts, and so on. We have to learn all these things from above according to the roots, and then do these things down below according to the same example, only there in the upper roots it's forces, and down here we also have to do it with our mental forces and also in our corporeal behavior. That in our world, every higher root has a lower branch. So there's a root for a pig and there's a root for a sheep. So a pig, it has an impure root. And by the way, also a sheep. Only you can correct the sheep through the correct kind of slaughtering and how you cook it. And there are many rules to it. How do you kosher its meat, salt it? Obviously. But this is something that you can't do with a pig because it has such a root that you can correct only at the final correction, meaning after we correct the complete system. Then there are such very high, by the way, roots that can be corrected only at the very end. And therefore, as it says, the angel of death shall become the holy angel, and a pig will be kosher only when? When we correct everything, then we will be able to correct these things too. First of all, in our roots, in our inner behavior, so that we won't be internally like pigs, and then we'll also be able to correct the pig outside of us, where really it doesn't do any harm. It has no flaw. It's healthy and maybe very tasty. But because the upper root necessitates me to do so, as it says, that you can't eat pork flesh. It means you can eat it, only the Torah prohibited it, because there is a higher force which still can't be corrected through our deeds, and we want to be in equivalence with that force. And therefore, this is how we use the corporeal pig, its flesh, and also in each one of us, there is a quality called a pig. And I can even say what that is. What is it? The sign for a kosher animal is that it has split hooves and that it ruminates. That it has split hooves, it means that it discerns between right and left, between bestowal and reception, and that is something that a pig has. It has split hooves, but it doesn't ruminate. Rumination is a sign that it has what's called in the wisdom of Kabbalah Tzimtzum Bet, the second restriction, that it receives from the outside in a very special way, where it swallows and doesn't, and swallows and doesn't. There's a special period there. Like we know that in animals, in kosher animals, they have a very sophisticated inner system of how they break down food. And in animals that aren't kosher, they don't have such a thing. They swallow it altogether immediately, meaning that for them, so-called the reception of the pleasures of the light in this way goes without any calculation, without a masach, a screen, an or choser, reflected light, without taking into consideration what they do, meaning they swallow everything. Yes, but again, it's all according to spiritual symbols, because before that, there was no such thing before people attained the upper roots in order to become like them, which is the person's entire work.